Hello and welcome to Squid Pro Quo, a Squid Game podcast where there are only 3 rules. 1, a player is not allowed to stop podcasting. 2, a player who refuses to podcast will be eliminated. And 3, the podcast will be terminated if the majority agrees. I'm not sure where to take it from there.
That was beautiful.
We're the Squid Boys.
I'm very scared of we're the Squid Boys. Hi, I'm Mike, and you may know me from other things. And that is Sean, the guy who hosts the podcast. And you may know him from other things, but we decided we wanted to do a Squid Games podcast because we both watched the show and we really enjoyed it.
To be specific, Mike texted me or DM'd me on Discord or whatever 2 hours ago and was like, let's do a Squid Game podcast.
Now here we are. I want to set a disclaimer for this a little bit. Yes, we've already watched the show, but we're going to be recapping it and talking about our favorite parts, but we will not be spoiling any of the future episodes in each episode. So it's safe for you. If you haven't watched the show yet, you can watch along as we do it. Like watch an episode, listen to our episode. Watch an episode, listen to our episode, like that. 2, Sean and I know nothing about Korean culture. This is like the first Korean thing I've ever watched in my life. Sean, you said it's the second?
Yeah, I saw Parasite, so...
So if we say something weird or don't pronounce things right, which we will not pronounce things right, just don't be too mean about it. Don't.
You can be a little mean.
You can be a little mean. We're okay with that, but don't, I already get made fun of enough on my other podcasts about saying things wrong. So, at least this is a whole different language and not the English language, which I'm really terrible at speaking as well. So yeah, we've seen it all. So we know every twist and turn, but we are going to guide you very gently and slowly, and sometimes not gently and slowly, through Squid Games.
Yeah,
together.
I was going to say, I don't think there's a whole lot about this show that's gentle and slow.
For the record, Sean, you were watching with subs.
Oh, yes. Yes. So this is, for both of us, this will be the second time watching it, because we've watched it through all the way, but... I'm watching it for the second time subbed, and I watched it for the first time subbed as well.
I am watching it dubbed for the second time, but I watched it subbed for the first time. And so I'm going to try to remark on differences. I'm still watching with the correct subtitles. I don't know if you saw this on social media, Sean, but there was a lot of, to do about make sure you're using the right subtitles. Don't use the English CC because that is for people who are hearing impaired, where the English subtitles is what you want, because the CC subtitles tend to tell you about sounds as well, not just the voices.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But yeah, so that's why. But they also just get stuff wrong in the English CC version. So you want your subtitles to be English, not the English CC on Netflix. Just. But there's a lot of stuff about social media on that, but I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, that's crazy that even though it's just supposed to be adding additional context, it's changing the dialogue. That's wild.
Yeah, there's just stuff that it's like a translation of a translation, right?
Yeah.
And so someone is taking, I don't know, that's just how it works sometimes. Well, because I don't know how much you know about deaf culture, but they don't use metaphors.
Huh.
Metaphors don't exist in their language. So my stepmom, she's a translator.
Okay.
And Jason actually knows quite a bit of sign language because of that.
Yeah, I think I've heard you guys mention that.
If you guys don't know who that is, he's my brother. Anyway, so I know a little bit about it, and they don't use metaphors. It just doesn't exist. So they're very literal about everything. So I think that's why some of that is weird. Yeah. Anyway, we should get into the episode.
Yeah.
So today we're covering the episode Red Light, Green Light. And the little synopsis on Netflix is, hoping to win easy money, a broke and desperate Jihan agrees to take part in an enigmatic game. Not long into the first round, unseen horrors unfold. So the episode kicks off with an explanation of what Squid Game is, what a Squid Game is. And it's a childhood game in a squid-shaped, court.
Which, already, is that a squid?
I don't know. I mean... It's better than like a half circle square game, right?
Yeah.
It's a squid without the legs. Maybe that's what a squid looks like when you're gonna eat it. I don't know. I don't eat squid.
I don't know. Me neither.
But what I found interesting about the dub versus the sub is that the sub calls the move of walking across the neck of the squid the secret inspector, but in the dub they call it Inspector Royale.
Interesting.
So which are you, Sean? Are you the secret inspector or are you Inspector Royale?
Well, now I'm questioning if I watched the first episode the first time around with the CC subtitles or the normal English subtitles, because I definitely remember Inspector Royale.
Yeah. No, the English subs call it Secret Inspector, but if you listen to the voices, like the English dubs, they say Inspector Royale.
I think I want to be the Inspector Royale. I like
Inspector Royale better.
It's got a bit of a
like
flair.
A victory royale. Yeah.
Oh, number 1 victory royale.
I'm the Inspector Royale.
Yeah. Oh.
Jihan's voiceover telling us about Squid Game and how great it is to win, and it's just kind of a setup for what's going on, and it's important later in the series, I suppose. But knowing the rules of Squid Game, not really important. Just that it's a game that exists, and that's the name of the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we cut forward to our main guy, Gihan, and his life, and he's kind of a scumbag.
Yeah, a little bit. He's like sitting at home and his mom is like doing everything for him. And he's kind of yelling at her for doing everything for him.
Right. He's like, wow, you work too hard, but also where's all the money?
Yeah.
So I can buy my 10-year-old daughter fried chicken.
Yeah. Which I think that's definitely, I feel like that's a cultural thing that I've heard before about in South Korea and fried chicken.
Like fried chicken's a big deal?
I think I've heard that before somewhere else.
I mean, fried chicken's kind of a big deal here. Depends on who you're talking to, right?
Yeah. No.
I don't know if it's my birthday meal, but I like fried chicken. But yeah, we kind of get the idea that he's kind of like he's kind of a leech on his mom.
Mm-hmm.
He steals her debit card and takes it to the horse races to bet on horse races with his low-life buddy.
And he's very like nonchalant about all of it. Like when they're doing the whole thing and he's trying to get the money out, he puts in the original passcode was his birthday and it doesn't work, and he's like laughing about how his mom no longer has his birthday as the passcode for her card. Like, and eventually he figures out it's his daughter's birthday.
Yeah. Have you ever met anybody in real life like him?
Like him?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I've ever, like, I've definitely met people that I'm like, you're probably like that. But I don't think I've ever known anybody or had a friend that's been to his extent.
As far as like the horse racing and stuff goes, I've definitely met people like that.
Oh.
Not necessarily that they're stealing money from their mother, but they're like constantly at the racetrack. They owe people tons of money.
Oh, I've known people like that.
Yeah. And I think they paint his character very well in this first episode. It's a lot of character building.
Oh, yeah.
And he wins. He wins big on 6 and 8.
Yeah, and this is something I wrote down that immediately stuck out to me. Do you know how much he won from that horse race?
It was not off the top of my head, no.
He won $4,560,000. Won.
How much is that in U.S. currency?
I have no idea, but also why it stuck out to me is because 456.
Oh.
Which, when he gets into the game later this episode, is his number.
That is funny. I didn't realize that. Something funny that I realized while watching this show is I kept wondering, with prize money, like, how much is that? Like, if I was going to win, how much is that?
Yeah.
And the moment I started to type in a number, Google search was like won. Because so many people are watching the show in America and have no fucking clue how much that is.
Yeah.
10,000 won is like $8.50.
So 4,560,000 won is like $3,800.
So that's a good amount to win at the racetrack, right?
Oh yeah, at the racetrack for sure.
His debt collectors come for him, his loan sharks.
Yeah.
And apparently in South Korea, they're a little They can be a little more loose with beating people up for that stuff. I know that stuff happens here too, but they run this guy down. And
that one dude, like, tastes his blood. Did you mention to me when you were watching it? You DM'd me like, I fucking forgot this happened.
Yeah, I forgot he eats his blood and says, "Oh, it's very sweet.
Could make a soup.
You must be eating good," is what he says. It's like, wait, does blood taste different depending on what you eat? I know like other bodily fluids do, but blood?
That might other bodily fluids. Good job.
I'm not gonna go further with that. You're not gonna get me to say what I meant. I guess if your blood sugar is high, right, it would probably taste sugary, right?
This definitely seems like it would be an important thing for you to nail down before you do that Castlevania podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, I'll look into it.
You got to do that, and also report back here, of course.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know. He basically signs away his rights if he doesn't pay him by a certain time. He owes him a lot of money. It's kind of a brutal like takedown. You know, they're about to cut his capillaries in his nose, and you know they're.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was like a real. Apparently, that's like a real good way to kill someone.
I don't know if it would have killed him because like when your nose bleeds, it's usually because you busted a capillary in your nose. Yeah,
but if did you slice him open like that? No?
Yeah, I don't know that he'd die, but it would not be good for him.
I still didn't know that. I'm dumb.
Fun thing we glossed over, but when he wins the money, he leaves a little tip for the lady working the counter, and he has to go back and ask her for it because he's broke again. And that's just like, it's another character building moment for him that shows like, you know, this guy's a dirtbag. Like, and I love how excited he is when he wins and how he's just like, oh yeah, you could buy whatever. He's talking to his daughter on the phone. You can get whatever food you want. Fried chicken. Yeah. Shh, that ain't not, you know, just like we see it again with him later when he wins money from playing the game in the subway later on in the episode. He just like he feels so accomplished and has this shit-eating grin, and like it makes the character not as likable. You know what I mean? Like because he's like singing later on, you know, just I don't know what the song is he's singing. Do you know what the song is he's singing?
I have no idea.
I wanted to look that up and I forgot, but maybe I'll look it up next time. Anyway, he goes and wins a present out of a crane for his daughter. Well, he
has his little kid help him.
This little kid helps him, and he doesn't even look to see what's in the box.
The little kid doesn't get anything out of that either.
I'm assuming he threw him a couple bucks, right?
I don't know, man. We didn't see it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So he meets his daughter for dinner, and she's 10, and she's adorable.
Oh, she's so adorable. Also, he gives her the present. He opens it up, and there's like a. At first, I think it's like a real gun inside.
Right. Like, and he's like, "Well, women need this for war." Like he thinks he's giving his daughter a real gun, and he's okay with it.
Yeah, he's like, all right. And so she picks it up, and she points it like real close to him and pulls the trigger, and a little flame shoots out the end. And it's like, oh, okay. It's like a novelty gun, trick gun, right? But man, she still pointed that thing real close to him, and he was totally chill. And she pulled that trigger.
Yeah, I never noticed that, actually. You're right. That was pretty weird that she pointed the gun at her dad. Because I was going to say I really enjoyed the relationship between the two because he's she knows he's like scummy, right? But she still loves him. It's their dad, right?
Yeah.
And so she's like, Dad, you can't get into fight. If you're going to get into fights, don't get beat up. Dad, you got to stop smoking. Dad, this and that, you know? And I like their relationship, even though he's not a very good dad. Right?
I think it's a very realistic one as well.
Agreed. Girls love their dads, no matter what, even if they're, you know, bad.
Deadbeats. Yeah.
Deadbeats, yeah. So he drops his daughter off at his ex-wife's, and she clearly hates him, for obvious reasons. And then he goes to get on the train, but he misses it, and there's a guy there, and the guy offers to play a game and give him money. And had you ever heard of this game before?
Never. No, I've never heard of this game. And once they started,
the jockey,
I think it's
called.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. But hey, you just be happy I didn't try to name the food she was eating in the previous scene. Okay.
Yeah. But they're like they got these two like envelopes, like a blue and a red one, and they put Like one person puts theirs on the ground and the other person has to throw their envelope at it and flip it. Now, without like getting too ahead, have you seen like the theory about the blue and red envelopes?
I have actually, yes.
Okay. Do you think there's any credence to that without like?
No, I think that's stupid.
Yeah, okay.
The colors that people are saying don't. We can talk about it more later when we get farther in the show. But like the colors don't even match what they're talking about. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. And if it turns out to be true, great. But I just think that's a weird theory. What I really like about this scene is when Gihan throws his, right. It just sounds pathetic.
Yeah.
Like the sound design in it sounds terrible. But when the salesman guy throws his, it just sounds booming and thundering as he flips the paper. And I love this montage they do because they basically get to the point where he says he'll give him 100, or is it 100,000 won?
Yeah, it's 100,000 won for every time he flips it.
But he, obviously Gian doesn't have the money, so he says, "Hey, I'll slap you every time."
Oh, he says you can pay with your body.
Yeah, yeah.
And Gihan's like,
wait, what? And then there's this really sick montage of him just like losing and getting slapped and just slap. And I think it's really, really well cut and really well put together.
And I think the best part of the montage is at the end when Gihan finally flips the other dudes. He doesn't go, "Yeah, give me my 100,000 won." He turns and he's about to smack the shit out of that guy.
Yeah, he goes, get your face over here.
Yeah.
And he's about to smack him. And the guy's like, "Hold on, no, here's your money."
Yeah,
and it's like, like it's funny because it's the human nature in you is like, "Yeah, now I get to smack you." But it's like, no, that's not what we agreed to. You get money, buddy. Like,
yeah,
if you wanted to smack me, you should have negotiated the deal better.
But like, you would get caught up in that, right? If you've just gotten the shit smacked out of you for however long that was, right? You flip that, the first thing you're going is, all right, it's fucking payback time.
Absolutely. So then he wins a good amount of money off this guy, and the guy says, "Hey, I know all about you." And he basically lists all these things that only, someone who's done some research into this guy would know: how much in debt he is, how he signed off his, his rights earlier in the day to pay these people off. And so my question for you is, Sean, about this, because what I found interesting on a second watch is, what are they targeting? People who are in bad shape? They
must be, right?
They have to be, right?
Because you wouldn't have that kind of information just like he wouldn't be able to just see this guy in the subway and get all that information that quickly, I don't think.
Right. So they have to be targeting people to enter this game.
Yeah.
You know what? One part we missed in the recap that I just realized is that we have her name escapes me right at this moment, but she ends up being number 67.
Yes.
For his horse race winnings, and that's why he's not able to pay the guys that beat him up. Anyway, moving on. So he gives him a card with some PlayStation logos on it, and says, "Hey, call this number if you want to play in these games." Gian goes home, and he's like, "Yeah, I got money," and he goes by a stall where this woman sells fish, and it's his childhood friend Song Woo's mother's stall, and he asks about Song Woo, which is important for later. And Song Woo's the most successful person from their neighborhood, and he went to school here, and he did this and did that, and he owes him a drink because if Gihan wouldn't have brought him to school every day, he wouldn't have made it into college. And
what an amazing amount of importance to put on yourself in that scenario.
Right. Yeah, I brought him to elementary school every day, so he wouldn't have made it to college without me.
Yeah.
Just delusions of grandeur here.
Yeah.
But in a comical way. His mom just kind of like, "What are you even talking about here? Take some fish for your mom. Get out of here."
Yeah, and then he gives her 10,000 won, and he's like, "Here, there you go." And he's walking away, and she goes, "This is worth 12,000."
Yeah. He's just so on cloud nine from this money he won by just getting slapped.
Yeah.
And he gets home to his mother and gives her some money, and she's like, "You were stealing, you were gambling." It could never be anything good, right?
No, yeah.
No way he ends up with that money, and it's because he did something good. And she reveals to him that his daughter and her stepdad and his ex-wife are moving to America, and he needs to get his financial shit together. Otherwise, that he's going to lose his daughter, and she's not going to be able to speak Korean, and he's not going to be able to communicate with her, and he'll just be a stranger to her. You know, which
that's an interesting touch to me that I think is very exclusive to like a foreign language type thing. Like I don't think you'd ever get like a plot point like that in like an American show. That aspect would never be focused on.
If anything, it'd be like, yo, cool, they're moving to Korea and she's gonna learn Korean. That's awesome. Yeah, right.
It wouldn't touch on that change that would happen and that lack of communication that would occur.
It's a bit of a trope, you know, the whole deadbeat dad losing his kid. You know what? It made me think of the Santa Claus.
I'm just imagining Tim Allen in the Squid Game.
The American version of Squid Games is going to be Tim Allen. Like, it's got to be. And he's going to go, when he, gets, when red light, green light starts, he's going to not know what to do.
Dude, I can picture fucking Neil perfectly in my head. If for those of you that don't know, Neil's the name of the stepdad in the Santa Claus. I'm kind of an expert.
Yeah, you are.
I can imagine him in Squid Game now. No, I think that's even funnier.
Yeah, you're welcome for that visual, Sean.
Thank you.
Obviously, this propels Gihan to call the number and enter himself into the games, and he gets picked up by a van, and the password is red light, green light, and he gets in the van, and they gas him, and he passes out. And the guy driving the van has this crazy black mask on and pink outfit, and has he got a circle?
Oh,
it's a circle, I think.
I feel like it would have to be.
It's a circle because the square are the supervisors.
Yeah.
And the triangle are just other guys. I think it's a circle. I think the transport guys are circles. I could be wrong though.
That would make sense.
Yep.
He's also kind of like, he gets in and he's like, oh, I guess everyone's really tired. It's like,
it's like, okay, dude, I would not get in that van.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, how long is it going to take to get? And what made me laugh the second watch is the way he falls asleep, like, looks like the most uncomfortable. Like, he just throws his head back off the chair. It's like, man, his neck is going to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that was my thought on that, but it made me cringe just watching his neck like turn like that. Anyway, he wakes up and there's classical music playing, and there's this gigantic room with 456 bunk beds in it. And it's a really impressive setup.
I love the design of that set.
Yeah, it's really cool. I really enjoy it. And there's stairs to get everybody down from the because there's beds stacked on top of beds. And everybody's wearing jumpsuits with numbers on them. And Gihan's number is 456. And he meets number one, who is a elderly man, and he appears to be counting. And he's counting just competitors, and he seems annoyed by Gihan talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm trying to count, and he goes, well, there's 456. It says right there. And he's like, yeah, I know. I'm counting to, I have a tumor, and I'm trying not to get dementia because that's when my you know what I mean? Like, he's just like, he's like, leave me alone. I'm trying to count,
Yes, he really has to spell. Like, he tries to be vague about it at first. Like, he's, and then Gihan just doesn't get it. And then she's like, "Look, dude, I've got a brain tumor.
I've got a brain tumor. I'm gonna die soon. Just let me count." We're interrupted by that by our good friend number 67, the pickpocket. Kind of a circle forms around her, and another guy whose name again escapes me, and I don't think we learn his name yet, but he's 101.
Yeah,
and he has this like big, like, is it a dragon or a snake or something tattoo on his neck chin area?
Yeah, some sort of huge tattoo.
He looks like a stereotypical like gangster.
Mobster gangster,
kind of, yeah. And he's, talking about some, history they have that we're not privy to, about how she screwed him over and all this, and he beats her up a little bit, but then Gihan recognizes her as the pickpocket. So he, jumps in.
Jumps in so confident.
he just can't, it's all about him and about the money he lost. He can't possibly, and
it
so
turns around so beautifully because like he grabs her and he starts, where's my money? He checks to make sure it's her because there's like a scar on her neck.
Yeah, she has a scar on her neck. Yeah.
Where's my money? Where's my money? And the mob dude comes back in and he knocks him down. And all of a sudden, Gihan's entire attitude kind of changes.
Yeah.
Where he starts to be like, she took my money, dude. I know I just threw you out of the way.
He's almost like, how dare you? Like,
yeah.
like he didn't just do the exact same thing to that guy. You know?
Yeah.
And they're getting ready to face off, and then he's the guy starts trying to attack him, and he goes, help, this guy's trying to kill people, and she's a pickpocket. Someone should help. This is bad, this is not behavior that's okay. And he goes, finally, because the door's open, and out walk these soldier type guys in their pink suits and their black masks with different shapes on them, and they're really cool outfits, dude.
How long do you think they spent with those extras? Like, this is how you walk. Because they got the walk down.
Oh, it's incredible. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I've seen people talk about like, Squid Game costume for Halloween. And in my head, I'm thinking that. But people mean like the jumpsuits that the players do. I'm like, no, give me the fucking, the cool ass mask with the hood and the pink and all that. That shit is cool.
I feel like it doesn't work unless you can do the walk that they do.
Yeah,
because they walk with a lot of confidence and swagger. Like, I think if without that walk, they'd look way goofier than they do.
Agreed. I agree. So I would look goofy in it, is what you're saying.
Me too. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So they start to explain the situation to everybody. Like, hey, you guys agreed to be in these games. You, if you don't want to play, now is the chance, but you will win some money if you make it through all 6 days. There's 6 days of games, 6 games. And so everybody's kind of like, well, what? You can't, you drugged us and da-da-da-da. And they start showing montages of the different players and how much debt they owe. And the first one to actually speak up is Sung-woo, who is the person that Jihan was talking about earlier to his mom.
Who's supposed to be in America.
He's supposed to be in America on a business trip, but he is in massive amounts of debt. And it shows the video of all them playing the game where with the 2 pieces of paper cards or whatever.
So here's my question. I assume it's not one person going around playing that game with everybody, right? So like, do they all have cameras on their suits? Where's this footage coming from?
Yeah, it seems like they all have cameras on them.
Which is...
We don't see Gihan's like specific game to know like where it was, I guess. Because that would have been like helpful to know exactly where the camera
that's true.
was.
Yeah.
But we just, we see a bunch of different people and they some of them are billions of won in debt.
Yeah.
Which is nuts to me. But they all said, okay, now if you don't want to play, here's your chance to get out. So they have everybody line up and they're having them agree to 3 rules, which are similar to the rules you laid out at the beginning of the podcast.
Ooh, well, it's almost like it's a reference.
Yeah, almost. Rule 1, a player is not allowed to stop playing. Rule 2, a player who refuses to play will be eliminated. And Rule 3, the games may be terminated if the majority agrees. Now, I like in Rule 3, it says the games may be terminated.
Oh. So here's my question. I just dropped the pen I was playing with. Here's my question. They're like... I don't think we see anybody go, no, I'm good. I'm going to leave now.
They don't show anybody leaving, no.
Do you think they would have actually let anybody leave at this point?
I do, actually. I think they would have walked them away from everything, not shown them the game maybe, and let them leave. Because as we find out later on, they are okay with people leaving as long as they don't know how to get there, right? So I think they would have let them leave. I don't think anybody left. I'm 100% sure nobody left because there's 456 players still.
Yeah.
Knowing what they know after the first game, some of them definitely would have left.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because they're not exactly clear with them.
Okay, Mike, would you have stayed at this point? Because I think I would have wanted to leave at this point. I would have been freaked out.
So there's something to be said about, doing what the Horde does, right?
Yeah.
You have if no one else left, I think my anxiety would have told me you're staying because everybody else is.
Yeah, I feel like maybe.
You know
and also,
I mean?
To be in that position, I mean, it's kind of difficult to ask those questions of like myself, because I'm not in that level of desperation that
Right.
they target for these games.
True.
Right?
We are not people that go to the horse race tracks and
No.
bet all our money, you know.
No, so that definitely is something that affects their decision to not leave this extreme, because it is extremely sketchy. Like even before they start killing people later, like in this episode, getting drugged and waking up in like a giant dormitory is weird.
Yes. Even though it is a very nice facility. So I think that would calm me a little bit. It's like, okay, this is a nice facility. These guys,
clean.
you know, it's clean. I don't remember. Do the soldiers have guns the first time they see them?
No, they don't have guns the first time they see them.
Yeah, so they don't have guns yet. So it's like, I don't know that this is violent. If anything, I'm like, yo, this is like a pretty big operation put on by whatever TV company is doing this game show, right? I'm like, wow, Nickelodeon. Okay, hey, cool.
You're like looking around. Where's
the aggro crag at? You know,
they bring down the piggy bank, and you're like, oh, they're gonna fill that up with slime as we play, aren't they? Like
the sound that plays when the piggy bank comes down, that pixelated kind of that chiptune sound is such a cool sound. And
it is.
Yeah, if I heard that, I'd be in. I'd be like, okay.
On the topic of just noises that are made in like music, oh my god, the music in this show. I just want to bring that up. The kazoo song. Yes.
The kazoo song that plays when he's playing the paper hitting game, and then it plays at the beginning of the episode when they're showing the Squid Game is an incredible achievement, because it starts with just a kazoo, and I'm someone who has a kazoo and knows how to play a kazoo, and it's hard to make kazoo music cool.
I'm listening to it right now. It's really good.
It's so good. And it gets more intense too, and almost menacing in a way, in like the same way that like carnival music becomes menacing, you know?
Yeah. We don't in this episode, do we hear any of like the Pink Guys themes? Is that any of that music in here? I don't think so, because their theme, maybe it's next episode, is like, it's the thing I think of when I think of the show.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. So anyway, they start walking him to the first game, and they walk into this Willy Wonka, Dr. Seuss ass, MC Escher corridor of stairs that's just a giant maze and different colored, and
it's cool.
It's very cool. It's probably the coolest set in the show, just because it
only gets cooler as we see more of it.
That's what I was trying to say, and my stupid brain wouldn't push it out. It gets cooler as the show goes on, as you learn more about what's going on. And they walk them out to this giant dirt play area that you'd play flag football on as a kid, or baseball, or you know. Yeah. But the walls are artificial, and it looks like a wheat field.
God, I love that. It looks so good.
And then in the distance, there's a giant robot doll and a couple guards. And there's a voice saying, please make your way to the white line and await further instructions. The scene before, they take pictures of everybody. Yeah. And we meet my favorite character of the episode, number 324, Blonde Guy. Because when Blonde Guy takes his picture, he throws up like the Jeff Hardy, three fingers thing, like that. And then he wants to redo it because he didn't do it good enough.
And then
he gets shoved
like,
out of the way.
Get out of here.
And so then they're all lined up, and they say, you guys are going to be playing red light, green light. When the doll says green light, you may move. When she says red light, if you move, you're eliminated. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, red light, green light? We played that as kids. And the blonde-haired guy and another character said, hey, I bet I'll beat you there first. And it's like, oh, this is not going to turn out well for Blonde Guy.
No.
And so they start sprinting when it goes, and Blonde Guy doesn't quite, stop his momentum when red light is said.
It's pretty bad. Like,
yeah.
He's flailing his arms around.
Well, and it's the kind of thing you do if you don't realize you're playing red light, green light to the death, right? You're just playing.
Yeah.
Like you think you're just playing regular ass red light, green light, and so you think it's okay to maybe flail. Whoa, almost got me,
Almost got me.
And there's a loud bang, and he just collapses, and everybody goes, "What?" Oh. And the guy that the guy that he was racing, when it's green light again, walks up and goes, "Hey man, you're eliminated. You can stop messing around." And he spits up blood.
Oh god.
And that's when you realize this is fucked.
So okay, so going into the show, your first time through, did you know that this was gonna get fucked?
Yes. Well, I didn't know. I knew that it was like a killing game kind of situation.
Yeah.
Because that I like that kind of media. I like battle royale, Danganronpa, stuff like that. So I knew it was that kind of thing. I didn't know how it was going to play out. When they started playing red light, green light, I said, "Oh no,"
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure what happened to him because they don't show a bullet or anything. They don't show any blood splattering out of him. I think he gets shot in the chest or the stomach or something.
Yeah.
Then when I realized there's all these holes in the walls with guns pointed, and I was like, "Oh no, they're just gonna gun everybody down." And people, out of being terrified, just start sprinting back towards the doors, and they're all just getting annihilated because for some reason they forgot they were playing red light, green light.
I think that's a human reaction.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say that I would realize I just need to stay still because I'm playing red light, green light.
Yeah.
But who knows in that moment?
I think I'd be dead. I think I'd turn around and I think I'd run. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in my ability to go. Just stay cool.
Well, at a certain point, don't you think you'd stop though?
That's true. And if I was in a lucky enough placement, because not everybody that moved died.
Right.
And they talk about it later in the game, like college boy, is it Sang-woo?
Sang-woo, yeah.
Yeah. Sang-woo is like, if you're behind somebody, it can't see you.
Right.
And we see the pickpocket lady kind of like moving her arm around behind the dude later. But
so I want to ask you actually how this whole machine works, because they're saying the doll has movement recognition technology, right? Mm-hmm. Is it like doing calculations to decide which gun shoots, or are there soldiers shooting these guns?
I think those are soldiers shooting the guns.
So how do they know who to shoot?
That's a good question.
Is the doll telling them? Are they being given instruction? Because I think they're trying to get across the idea that it's all automated.
Yeah.
But that's a complex machine then.
I don't know if it could be.
Right, it doesn't make sense to me.
Especially because we see people, like we see the view from the doll, and it's when they start to move, they change from like green to red. And there's definitely people that changed to red that weren't killed.
True. So maybe it's just like, hey, they get the same, the soldiers are getting the same layout that the doll sees, or they're just.
Well, we also see like a big command center when they're preparing the game, where like a bunch of these dudes in the red hoodies, and we see this guy. We didn't
mention that yet.
In this cool black mask walk in, and I think the most likely thing is the people in that room are getting readouts of the player numbers and relaying those to the snipers.
Okay. I just both times I watched it, I was just wondering, how does this machine work?
And it's probably the most complex method of killing all these people that they do in the whole show.
Right, and it's interesting because I saw a lot of people before I watched it compare it to Saw, and I was like, okay, this is kind of Saw-like, but nothing else in the show is really Saw. Saw's like the game Mousetrap, but it kills people. Like, it's like a Rube Goldberg machine that kills people, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is like there's just ones later where literally if they just fuck up, they get shot with a gun, right? And it's like, but by a soldier. So it's not like Saw in that way to me. But
no, I agree.
People are frozen. The ones that lived are frozen, and our good man, number one, the elderly guy, just is having the time of his fucking life.
He's got the best smile on his face.
Oh my god, he is the funniest old man. Like he's like, he hasn't lived like this since he was a kid, he's just he's running forward, and he's the only one moving. And at a certain point, people go, okay, this is a 5-minute timer, we got to make it across this line or we're all gonna die. So other people start moving with him. And
speaking of walks, the old man's walk in that portion, another top tier walk in the show.
There's one point they start doing a montage to some classical music at one point, and
because they do the montage with the classical music, because the dude in the black mask who seems to be kind of running this operation goes up to like a private room and turns
watches,
on
yeah.
some classical music and watches.
There's one point where they show the old man at the front lines and he just like stops in time, and this pose he has and his face, it's so brilliant. I love it.
It's really good.
So during this, Gihan gets a dead guy falls on top of him, and he's just sitting there paralyzed. But finally, Sang-woo says, "Hey, you got to get up.
Yeah,
You got to get going, or you're gonna die." So he starts moving. The whole montage happens, and it's brilliant. And 67 gets passed, and 101 gets passed, and Sang-woo gets passed, and Gihan's running out of time, and but one more green light, and he should make it, and he trips.
and
He
then
trips over a dead body.
he
but
trips.
A hand grabs him.
Player 199.
Player 199, who we don't know his name yet, but he is not of Korean descent. One of the few people in the game who's maybe the only one.
I think there's one more that we see.
Okay.
I mean,
I
in
don't
this
remember.
episode, I think there's one more.
Right. So, and he very strongly holds Gihan and saves his life, and then they both make it past the finish line.
My favorite character. Love him.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites too. There's about 20 people that just don't make it at the timer, and they all just get shot down.
Yeah.
And as the music plays and the masked man enjoys his scotch or whatever, and that's the end of the episode.
God.
And you're left there going, what the fuck did I just start watching? And that's how it
hooks you.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's very visceral. There's one part during the montage where you're zoomed in on the back of a guy's, jet black hair on his head, and you're like, oh no. And you just see the bullet fucking come out and just a explosion of blood. And you're just like, oh, that's disgusting. It's very graphic.
The fake blood is really good.
It is. Actually, I forgot about my favorite shot. It's when the second guy gets shot. The guy that was competing against blonde guy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There's a woman.
Yeah.
And she has like the biggest eyes.
Yeah.
And she just gets blood all over her face, and her eyes are so big, and she just starts screaming and then gets gunned down. And it's just like, this is like so intense and just scary. And man, what a episode of television.
Yeah. I think in terms of like the scariest shot for me is just all of them banging on the door, getting shot from behind.
The piles of bodies at the door.
Yeah.
It's intense.
Horrific.
Yeah. So Sean, if you're playing red light, green light, what's your strat?
Okay, so in reality, I think I'm dead.
Probably.
I don't trust myself enough to think that I could keep a cool head and pull through. But if I'm looking at this, like, I'm analyzing the game, right? I think Miss Pickpocket, number
67.
Number 67 has the right idea. Well, and Sang-woo also does the same thing, and Gihan also does the same thing, where they kind of get behind somebody.
Yep.
And I think that's the right play.
I agree. I'm a larger guy, so I don't know that I'd be able to do that. I think I'd probably just try. I would just take very small movements.
Yeah.
Because I think 5 minutes is enough time to get there. If you play it safe, just the moment that doll head starts turning around, you just stop. You don't.
Yeah.
And you're not running, because when you run, you keep that momentum, and that's harder to stop. But just taking big steps, brisk big steps,
Which is what the old man does when you see, because he's not, that's kind of what I think is so entertaining about his movement, is that he's not running, he's walking really fast.
Yeah.
And taking really big steps.
He's almost cartoon tiptoeing.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Like how someone sneaking around in a cartoon takes these big exaggerated tiptoes, He's almost doing that. It's incredible. I think that's either your strat or my strat. I think are both pretty good strats. We want to do this thing where every time there's a game played in an episode, we pick the MVP of the game. To me, there are two options. There might be three. You can convince me on old guy, but I think blonde guy could be the MVP because he takes the first bullet.
Does he deserve MVP for that?
I don't know, man. I feel like it's without him,
Nobody
people might have
knows.
died.
But without him, would they all have panicked and, I guess they would have panicked eventually.
Or my other option is number 199, who saves Gihan's ass.
I mean, when it comes to MVP in the game for like the person that made me go, fuck yeah, let's go, it's 199, right? Now, I think if you're analyzing it and you're looking at it from like, if you were on the field, right, your MVP's the old guy because you're looking at him and you've got like a North Star, right? You've got like, this is like, what I need to do.
This guy knows what he's doing. I'm following him. True.
Yeah,
true.
Exactly.
All right. I think we're both in agreement. It's number one. It's the old man.
Yeah.
He's the MVP of this game. We'll give it to him.
Yeah.
Because you know, he's doing all that while also having a good
time of his life.
The time of his life, literally. So yeah, awesome. I don't know. We didn't really talk about how we wrap this up. Is there do we like ask our audience a question? Do we?
I mean, I'd love to know people if anybody has first of all a different MVP than us.
Yep.
If you're just watching the episode and you're looking at those, because that's something that I like to do is I like to look at the extras in the background, right? Especially in something like this. If there's somebody in there who you like, the dude with like this haircut, he's really good. Or I want to know that. I want to know if you disagree with our strategy or if you think you have a better strategy.
Let us know if you have a better strat and if you have a better MVP or just like someone you notice in the background who like makes you laugh or something. Because I love that shit. That shit's funny. But yeah, this has been. Oh wait, you're the host. Sorry, you can do the host thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been Squid Pro Quo. Mike, do you want to like promote anything before we get out of here?
Well, since you're already listening to Squid Pro Quo, let me say that this is going to be on all podcasting services and YouTube. Ooh. Believe it or not. And thank you guys for checking it out for the first episode. If you want to hear me talk more, I do another podcast called the Ansem Report Podcast. It's about Kingdom Hearts. Not really the same vibe. So maybe check out Sean's podcast instead. Sean, give him a podcast to check out.
I like how you threw it to me like you're the host. You do this when you're going to be setting up all the platforms and stuff. So I have no information to share with people.
No, just talking about your podcast, you freak. Not another different one.
I meant at the earlier when you threw to me as the host.
Yeah.
For me,
wait, are we gonna have a Twitter for this?
I mean, it's gonna be like 9 episodes, right? Does it need a whole Twitter?
Squid Pro Quo.
I mean, honestly, I kind of want a Twitter just for the @
Okay, all right, I'll work on it. There might be a Twitter. I don't know. We really just kind of did this at the seat of our pants, everybody. So things might have changed drastically since the time we recorded this to when you're hearing it. But
I think somebody has Squid Pro Quo. Squid Pro Quo. Oh,
man,
no.
I knew you were going to mess it up at some point.
If you guys want a podcast that's kind of like this, it's talking about the stories in this way. I'm going to plug Speak the Words because that's a podcast that I really love doing. It's not entirely this vibe, but we're still kind of recapping a story in a way. It's about a book series called The Stormlight Archive, and Mike is going to be on at some point.
Oh, yeah, that's
soon.
right. I am going to be on.
Like a week
even
and a half
I know
or
nothing
something.
About it.
Yeah, that's kind of like the point.
That's kind of the hook, right?
That's the entire reason you're coming on.
Sean, we need a sign off for this podcast,
Well, we know that the podcast can only be terminated if the majority agrees.
That's true. So I would like to terminate this episode of the podcast, Sean.
I'm gonna go ahead and second the termination. And
okay, so we can terminate the podcast, but if we decide we want to come back later. If the majority decides they want to come back later, then we can.
Yeah. And we might decide to come back later, like a week from now or something. Or 2 weeks from now. I don't know what the release schedule is going to be like.
Work. Yeah, we have no clue what we're doing. Anyway, thank you for listening, everybody, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.